Good morning, students. Welcome to series of video lecture on electric charges and fields. Today, in this video, we are going to discuss a very basic and important law of electrostatics, which is Coulomb's law. So again, it is an important question for theory examination that they may ask state and explain Coulomb's law. For competitive examination, they will ask application part of this law. Let us know what is the statement of this law. The electrostatic force between any two point charges is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them and acts along the line joining the two charges. The electrostatic force between any two point charges is directly proportional to product of magnitude of charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them and acts along the line joining the two charges. So this is statement. Here there are four key points in this statement. One is point charges, 2 point charges, because Coulomb law is applicable only for point charges. Second one is product of magnitude of charges. Force is proportional to product of magnitude of charges, and also the force is proportional to, inversely proportional to square of the distance between them, square of the distance between them, and this force always acts along the line joining the two charges. So this is the statement. So let us go for the explanation. So in the examination, if they ask state and explain Coulomb's law, we should write this simple explanation. Consider 2 point charges separated by a distance r in free space. Consider 2 point charges, say Q1 and Q2, separated by a distance r in free space or in vacuum. So as these two are the like charges, which means this is also positive charges, this is also positive charges, this charge will repel this charge by a force F. And again, this charge will repel this charge by a force F. They are separated by a distance r. So from Coulomb's law, if F is the force between the charges, say Q1 and Q2, which are at a distance r from each other, F is proportional to product of magnitude of two charges. Electrostatic force is proportional to product of magnitude of two charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. And this force, electrostatic force, can be written as, we call this as equation 1. After eliminating this proportionality sign, we add some constant. F is equal to K into Q1, Q2 divided by R square. Q1, Q2 divided by R square. So where K is a constant called Coulomb constant. K is a constant called Coulomb constant, and its value is given by K K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So by substituting this value, our equation 2 becomes F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. So this is mathematical form of Coulomb's law. So we call this as equation 3. So this is the mathematical form of Coulomb's law. The electrostatic force F between 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 at a distance R is given by F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Since force is a vector, we want to write in vector form. In vector form, we write Coulomb's law as vector F is equal to, again, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Q1 Q2 divided by R square into R cap, where R cap is a unit vector which is in the direction of force. So this is the mathematical form of Coulomb's law in vector form. Suppose if they ask, write Coulomb's law in vector form and explain the terms, you should write this equation, and after writing this equation, you have to explain at least 2 terms of this equation. So it is better to explain what is Q1 and Q2, where Q1 and Q2 are the magnitude of charges and R is the distance between the charges. So this is Coulomb's law in vector form and explaining the explanation of the terms involved in the mathematical form of Coulomb's law. So now we want to know what is the effect of medium between the two charges. I told that we have defined Coulomb's law and we have stated Coulomb's law for the two charges in this equation by considering that two charges are kept in free space or in vacuum. Now we want to see what is the effect of medium between the two charges. That means in a medium of dielectric constant, epsilon r. Suppose if you introduce a dielectric medium with dielectric constant epsilon r completely in between these two charges, that is entire free space between these two charges is filled with a dielectric medium of dielectric constant epsilon r, then force between two charges is given by Fm. Force between two charges with a medium, a dielectric medium, is given by Fm is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square into epsilon r. That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r into Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Suppose if you compare this equation with the equation of Coulomb's law with the dielectric medium, one can write force between two charges in the medium can be written as force between same two charges in air or vacuum to that of the dielectric constant epsilon r, which means force between two charges is maximum when two charges are kept in air or vacuum, and force between the same two charges decreases by the value of dielectric constant when you keep that two charges in any other medium. For example, if you keep the two charges in water, for water, dielectric constant is epsilon r is equal to 80. In such a cases, the force between two charges is reduced by 80 times. Therefore, when you take the two charges in water with the same distance, then force between them decreases by 80 times at the top. The force between them in air or vacuum. So force decreases when you introduce a dielectric medium between the charges, completely between the charges. Again, for metals, instead of water, if we introduce a metallic medium or metallic conductor completely between the two charges, for metals, dielectric constant epsilon r is infinite. So then, in that case, force between two charges is F divided by Fm is equal to F divided by infinity, which is equal to 0. That means force reduces to 0 between the two charges. Coulomb force reduces to 0 between the two charges when you introduce a metallic conducting medium between the two charges, because dielectric constant for metal is infinite. We know anything over infinity is 0. So this is about force between charges when you introduce a dielectric medium of dielectric constant epsilon r. So now we know that in the equation of mathematical form of Coulomb's law, we have a constant which is called 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and this constant is called as Coulomb constant, and we have written that constant as k is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and this constant can be taken for all calculation purpose by substituting all these values, 4, pi value, and inside that we have constant called absolute permittivity of vacuum or free space, and it is also a constant. By putting all these constant value, so we will get this as 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. The value of K is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. And inside this we have a constant which is called as epsilon naught, and this epsilon naught is called absolute permittivity of free space or vacuum. Epsilon naught is a dimensional constant which is called absolute permittivity of free space or vacuum, and its value is given by 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. 8.854 10 to the power of minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square, or it has another allowed unit, Farad per meter. Farad is the unit of capacitance. Symbolically we write that as F, Farad per meter, or Coulomb square per Newton meter square is the unit of epsilon naught, which is called absolute permittivity of free space or vacuum. Don't confuse with this epsilon naught with epsilon r. Epsilon r is relative permittivity or dielectric constant. Epsilon naught is absolute permittivity of free space or vacuum. So this epsilon naught is a dimensional constant. I told this is a dimensional constant. Therefore, it has a unit, Farad per meter or Coulomb square per Newton meter square. So I want to write the dimension of this epsilon naught. So dimension of epsilon naught is, it has minus 1 unit of mass, m power minus 1, minus 3 unit of length, L power minus 3, 4 unit of time, say T power 4, and 2 unit of electric current, say A square. So epsilon naught, absolute permittivity, has a dimension of minus 1 unit of mass, minus 3 unit of length, 4 unit of time, and 2 unit of electric current. We know electric current unit is ampere. Symbolically we write that as A. So therefore dimensional formula of absolute permittivity or absolute permittivity of free space or vacuum as epsilon naught is equal to m power minus 1, L power minus 3, T power 4 and A power 2. So this is Coulomb's law in its mathematical form, in its vector form, and we have shown also what is the value of absolute permittivity and its dimension.